Okay, guys, welcome back, Umakebalo. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting the channel. If you haven't subscribed, please do so now. Okay, today we'll be doing some question on statistics, continuing with our series that I've created of statistics of grade 11. So, this is the questions that we are going to do today. It's saying the following data show the number of kilometers joggers ran in a month. So this is the data that we have. Now the first question that we need to answer, they say we must find what? The median. First thing, this is the group data or ungrouped data. This is ungrouped data because it's not in what? In a table. These are just numbers which we gave us. If it was in a table, if it was a group data, it was going to be in a table where we have intervals and frequencies, and we need to find all the middle term and accumulative frequency. So this one we call what? Ungrouped data. So the median, I hope you still remember what is the median. Median is the middle number, or is the middle number of the data. So from the numbers that we have here, it's already being arranged from the smallest number to the biggest number. So we need to find the middle number of here. So how do we find it? We're gonna find it by first saying this is my first, this is my last, this is my first, this is my last. I'm looking for the number on the middle. So I'm just gonna try by eliminating until I find the middle numbers. So now if I do this, these two terms or these two numbers are my middle numbers, because before I reach this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so these two numbers are the numbers that are in the middle. So to find my median now, I'm gonna take these two numbers because my median is between these two numbers here. So it's gonna take these two numbers and add them and divide it by what? By 2. And now if you are saying, sorry guys, 30 plus 81 over 2, I'm gonna get 60 over 2, which is 30,5. So this is gonna be my median of the data that I have here. Now answer B, they are saying find the range of this data. Finding the range, how do we find the range? The range, remember, is the biggest number minus the smallest number, which is the maximum minus the minimum. So what is the biggest number here? 6. My smallest number is 4, so it's minus 4. So 60 minus 4, it's what? It's 56. So that is the range of this data. And now C, they are telling us find the median of this data. So how do you find the median of this data? Remember, a formula of finding the median of a data is sum of all values all over the number of values. So the sum of all these values. So if I add all these values, guys, I'm not gonna show you in terms of, not gonna write every numbers here, but I did add them now. Also you can pause the video and add the numbers, but if I add them there, I found the answer 473. If I count them with how many of the numbers I have 16 of them. So guys, pause the video and add all these values. We're gonna get 473, and if you can count each of them, there are 16 numbers. So if I can say now 473 divided by 16, I'm getting what? 26 or 29, sorry, comma 5 6. So this is the mean that I found from this data. And then now D, they are telling me what is the mode. Remember, the mode are numbers that are repeated, and numbers that are what? That are repeated. So now I have 12 that is being repeated in this data, and I also have 40. So this is the 40 that is repeated, also going with this 40. These are numbers that are repeated in this data. So 12 repeated 2 times, but 40 is repeated 1, 2, 3, 4. 40 is repeated what? 4 times. So I'm taking the biggest one, or the one that is repeated more than the other one. So my mode is going to be what? It's going to be 40. I hope you understand. Now they say represent the data in a box and a whiskey diagram. So now I'm just gonna draw my number line here in a scale. Just gonna come back now. Okay guys, now they are saying in number E, represent the data in a box and a whiskey diagram. Remember, there are things that you need to find first before we draw a box and a whiskey diagram. There are these 5 number summary that we need to find. Now the first thing that we need to find is the minimum. It's the minimum value based on the numbers that we have here. Our minimum value is 4. Following the minimum value, we need to find Q1. Now there are notes or there's a video that I made in finding how to find what? Q1. So I said the position of Q1, it's what? It's 1 over 4. If we have what? Ungrouped data, it's n plus 1. So 1 over 4, 16 is a number of values that we have. Number of values here are what? Or n, it's a number of values that we have, which we have 16 values, and then plus 1. Then 1 over 4 into 16 plus 1, we found what? 4,25. Remember, this is the position, it's not Q1. This number is a position where we're going to find Q1. So now this 4 is from position of position number 4 and the other one of number 5, because we have still comma 2 something, so there are 2 numbers. It's 4 and the position of number 4 and number 5. So what we're going to do now, we're going to add the values in position. Remember guys, in position number 4 and number 5, and also those numbers we're going to divide it, because we are taking 2 numbers, divided by 2, because then the Q1 that we need is between those 2 numbers. The Q1 that we need is between those 2 numbers. So now we found 4,25. Let's go to position number 4. 1 2 3 4. It's 1 2 3 4. This is the number, position number 4, and then now we have comma 4 2. So now we're going to take the following number, which is what? Which is 18. So we're going to take position number 4 and then position number 5. Those 2 numbers, we add those 2 numbers. After that, we divide it by 2 in order for us to find Q1. So how do you find Q1? we're saying 18, we're saying 12 plus 18 divided by 2, then we find what? 12 plus 18 over 2, we find what? 15. So this is Q1. This is what? Q1. I hope you understand, guys, how do we find Q1. This thing is to find the position of Q1. That first number that we get here before the comma, we take that number, and then the following number after this number is it's 5, because this is for the following position of a number. We take the other one, 5. We took those two numbers, take those two numbers, we add them, we divide it by 2, we found but what? Q1. And then now we are still in order for us to draw a Bosco and a whiskey, we need a median. We've already calculated the median in our question here. We found what was our median? Was our 30.5. So we do have a median in terms of drawing the Bosco and the whiskey. Now let's go and find now Q3. How do you find Q3? First, you're gonna use the position, the formula of finding the position of what? Of Q3. So it's 3 over 4, and group data, it's n plus 1. So it's 3, 4, our n is 16, then plus 1, and then find 3 over 4 into 16 plus 1. We found what? We found 12.75. So same thing here, we're gonna use the same logic. We're gonna add the values in position 12, because we found 12 here, and then after the number that follows 12, it's what? It's 13. So we're gonna take 12 and 13 and divide those numbers by what? By 2. So how do we find Q3? Now let's go to position 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. So this is 12, and then 13. This is constant number position 13. So these are numbers. If you count my values, this is the number 13, this is number 12, and then this is number 13. So take these two numbers, which is 40 and 40. We divide them by 2. We found what? 40 plus 40 divided by 2, we found 40. So my Q3, it's what? It's 40. And another thing that I need now in order for me to complete my 5-number summary, it's what? It's maximum. So my maximum here, which is the biggest number, it's what? It's 60. So now I do have my 5-number summary. Now let's go and draw our Bosco and the whiskey. Okay, now we can draw our Bosco and the whisker. Already have our median. If we can write our information here, we have our mean, which is equals to 4, and our Q1 was equals to 15. Then our median, which is our Q2, was 30.5, and our Q3 was 40, and our maximum was what? Was 60. Now let's draw our Bosco and the whisker. We have from a scale that I've tried to draw my number line into scale. So now we have 5 here from 0 to 5. So if we have 5 here, now 4 is just next to what? 4 here. So I'm just gonna put my 4 next to this 5 here, and then now 15, which is my Q1, is just here. Just trying to draw my Q1 here, and then we have a median, which is going to be 30,5. So this is my 30 and this is my 35. So here it's gonna be a number between 30 and 35, but 30,5 is just, it doesn't reach this, so it's going to be next to 30, so it's just going to be here, which is going to be my 30,5, and then going to my 40, which is my Q3, is this one. Now, and I have what maximum, which is 60, which is just here. Now let me just go join my post and the whisker. I hope we can see that from the post and the whisker that we've drawn here, the distance from here to here and the distance from here to here, the longer distance is this one. This one here is shorter. From here coming here, and from here going here, which one is longer? I think this is the longer one. So this is the longer, and this is, sorry, this is what? This is shorter, which is going to be my following question here. After drawing the post and the whisker, comment on the skewness of the data, which is going to be my F. So if I can comment into the skewness of the data, I can say my data is what? It's skewed to the right direction, so to the right. Or another way of writing it, we can say, or it's what? It's positively skewed. I made a video in terms of understanding how do we understand the skewness, the negatively skewed or skewed to the left, or the positively skewed or skewed to the right. There's a specific video about telling you and everything about how the skewness, understand the skewness. Now, calculating the standard deviation, which is my following question here, which is my G. I hope you still remember how do we do the standard deviation. Just gonna do the calculation with you, putting everything in the calculator. I hope you still remember. I'm just gonna do everything with you. Now the first step you need to do, we're gonna press mode, and then we're gonna choose 2 for stat, and then we're gonna choose number 1, which is 1 vary, and then we don't need this one. Let me just refresh, clear my calculator. So now let's start a fresh mode, 2 stat 1. Then now we have that one frequency that you just saw is the one is the one that we do when we're doing what? A grouped data. So because when it's ungrouped data, we don't need the column of what? Of frequency. So now let's put our data. It's 4, it's 6, it's 12, it's 12, it's 18, it's 19, it's 25, it's 30, it's 31, 31, and then it's 40. Sorry, it's 40 here, another 40, another 40, another 40, we have 440, and then we have 47, and then we have 49, and then we have 60. And then after putting all your data here, you see my last data that I've put, what, 16 data. So yes, we have 16 data here. And then you press AC. After pressing AC, and then you say shift, and then you say 1, we are looking for a standard deviation. So we're gonna go to vary here, which is number 4. The sign of standard deviation is this one. So what is my standard deviation? I press 3, press equals to my standard deviation. It's 16,08. That is my standard deviation. I hope you still remember how to find what? The standard deviation. Also, in terms of finding the mean using the calculators, just to verify our mean that we found when we are finding our mean from here, just gonna press AC. You've already put it our data here. I'm just gonna say shift 1, and then we're looking for a mean. We're gonna choose value here, which is 4. This is the sign of a mean, which is just 2, and then equals to, which is just 29,1,56, which is the same mean that we already found in our previous questions. And then now the last question here is saying, what percentage of the data lies, percentage, very important, that percentage of the data lies within 1 standard deviation. Now we've already have the mean, which is this. Trying to answer D. Now 1 standard deviation, there is a question that a video that I did about 1 standard deviation. So if you are looking for 1 standard deviation, it's going to be our mean plus our standard deviation, 1 standard deviation, and then also we're gonna say a mean minus 1 standard deviation to find our answer. My mean here is 29,56, and then plus my standard deviation, which is 16,08, which is, if I calculate here, it's 29,56 plus 16,08. I found 45,64. And then now if I look at this one, which is my mean, which is 29,56, then minus my standard deviation, which is 16,08. If I calculate this, is 29,56 minus 16,08, it's what? It's 13,48. So this is my 1 standard deviation. So this is how we calculate the 1 standard deviation. So now I need to go to my data. I need to go to my data and see how many data values lies between the values that I've just found now, between what? 13,48 going to what? It's 45,64. I need to go to my data and see which values lies between those two. Now if I can go here to this data that I have here, I have 13,48, so I have 12 here. That's the last number that I have before 13. So 12 is not included from here, so I'm gonna start at 18. So starting from 18, going, my last data here it's 45. So it's going, and then from 47 is not included under this 45, so I have to stop here at 40. So I have to, so my data between 13,48 and 45,65, these are the numbers or the values that lies between what, between these 13,48 and 45,67. Remember, we are looking for what, for a percentage. Remember, our question here is that what is the percentage of a data that lies between one standard deviation? So the data that lies between one standard deviation, you've already found it, is this one. So we went to our data and looking for the values that lies between these two. We've already found the value that lies between these two, which is from 18 to 40. So how many are those numbers? Are 9. If you can count. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 values out of the 16. Out of 16, because we have 16 values. We have 16. If I can write this thing down, we have 9 out of the 16 numbers that lies within one standard deviation of the mean. So from there, now I'm calculating the percentage. I have 9. So I have 9 out of what? Out of 16. What is the percentage now? Times 100. If I can calculate this, it's 9 out of 16, and then times 100. What we get, 56,25. So this is the percentage that they are looking for. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you really understood everything that we were doing. Thank you so much.